Holy shit! Oh my god, we almost ran over a lizard. Oh my god! Alright, welcome back, guys. Today's video is going to be very interesting. We are going to go through all the power settings on the Kelly controller. We're going to keep it basic. We're going to do 50 and 50, and we're going to go all the way up to 100 and 100. I'm going to make one lap back and forth on this street out here where I live at. We're going to see what this bike can do, and we're going to see if we get any power cuts or any issues with the bike. And we're going to go from there, so stick around. This is going to be a very interesting video for people that have wanted to turn up the settings on their Kelly controller and see what you get from 50% all the way up to 100%. Let's see if the mile per hour changes. Let's see if the torque changes. So let's run through it. I wanted to make sure to show you guys that we are fully charged on the bike, and we will reset this miles, even though it's not a range test, but we are fully charged. All right, this is going to be my little testing section. I'm going to try to get the brightness up here on the phone. Hopefully it doesn't die. We're at 72% on this battery on the phone, but it's kind of a cheap phone. Anyways, we're going to go on the AC adducer. And I guess the phone has to be like this. Can't do it the other way. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the GoPro, but let's connect to our device. Let's go to read. I always forget to do that. And so my settings actually are 70 and 60 right now. We're just going to keep it simple. We're going to do 50 and 50. 50 and battery limit 50. We're going to keep these settings simple. We're not changing anything else. We're just going to do 50 50, then we're going to go up to 60 60, 70 70, 100 100. We're going to write, so now I can monitor like temp and stuff like that. And we're going to go in the sports mode. This phone's not the best, but we're going to see what 50 and 50 gives us. We're just gonna go up and down the street once, come back, reset the settings, and see what changes. Starting off with a full battery. All right, let's go. Nice and smooth. Dropping down. Oh yeah, it's not too bad. Our top speed is roughly like about the same. I mean, it's still going, so we would have probably hit about 50 if we set on it for a little bit of time. But these settings are perfectly fine. So if you put your bike to 50 and 50 on battery limit and current limit, basically you have a little bit of lag to the throttle. So when you hit the throttle, it's like the power comes in a few, I don't know, like a second or two after you hit it. Oh man, my phone went away. I wanted to keep an eye on the temperature and everything. Okay, so that setting's done. Hey, what's up, man? Okay, so you guys got to get a little bit of feel of how 50 and 50 was. So now we're gonna go to 60 and 60. Like I said, it's nice and smooth. The throttle's a little delayed, I would say. So let's see what this does. We're at 60 and 60 now. Let's go for a ride. I'm keeping an eye on motor temp and controller temp. Right now it's at 44 for motor temp and about 23 for controller temp. A little bit more punchy. Oh, well, at least we hit 50 right before we got to the stop sign, so those settings feel nice and smooth. You know, the power comes in nice. It comes in a little bit faster than setting it from 50 to 50. But you know, so far not bad, not bad. 48 right now. All right, so we're back into the settings. Now we're gonna go to 70 and 70. This is where, oh, oops, wrong one. Oops, wrong one again. This is where it should start getting interesting. All right, so battery current limit 70, current percentage 70. Let's write. Make sure it writes. I also changed my phone, so it should stay on for another 10 minutes so we can see. Right now, our motor temp is 51, 52, or around 50, 51. Controller temp is 29. Make sure no one's behind me, and we should be good to go. Yeah, that gives a little bit better response. Still 48. I see our motor temp getting up to about 60, and controller temp is about 32. Alright, motor temp is getting to about 70. And the controller temp is 36. Still hitting our speed. Still nice and smooth. It's a little bit of a kick. Still nothing like too bad. Now that we're still on the app, we should be able to do this all together instead of cutting the camera. We'll do this live. So 80. And I'll get rid of the boring stuff on the video. Let's change this one to 80. Alright, so both battery current limit and current percent are both at 80. Let's write it, make sure it writes. We are good. AC monitor says our motor temp is at 64 and our controller temp is at 34. Alright, so let's give it another run here. The reason why I keep telling you all these settings is because just in case you can't hear it. I'm gonna try to do that again. That one felt almost similar to 70. It didn't feel like much changed on that. Let's try that again. Don't go yet. So 48 miles per hour. Our controller temp is getting up to about 79. Motor temp 79, controller temp 40. Still, the power feels nice. It's not too bad. It has a little bit more of a punch to it. I think I just have to hit read. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now we're gonna go to 90. I've never went past, I think 80 or 85. But it was only on one setting, so I'm real curious to see if 90 does any different. Still no power cut, no issues. We are on a pretty good battery. That's 78.8 volts. All right, let's write that. Now we're on 90, so just keep that in mind, guys. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a lot better on that one. Definitely felt like I had a lot more torque on that one. I don't know what this truck guys are doing. Ruining my video right now. Okay, so let's do that again. We're at 75 for motor temp and 42 for controller temp. So let's do another pull real quick. Oh, ho, ho. Dude, the wheel wants to come off the ground now. Oh man, that's a little scary. So controller temp, motor temp is getting up to 88 it looks like, and controller temp is 44. Not too bad. 83 to 85 on motor temp, and controller temp is about 45. So now we're gonna go up to 100. Like I said, I'm giving you guys these numbers so you know what I'm turning this bike up to, just in case you can't see the screen, because sometimes it's washed out. If you can, great, you know, you can see everything I'm doing. So we're at 100 and 100. Let's write. So our motor temp went down a little bit to 76. Controller temp is still the same. So I feel like if anything really gets hot on this bike first, it's gonna be the motor temp, which is the rear hub. All right, let's go test this out now. I wanted to lean forward because I didn't know what to expect by the power. We're getting 48 still, but definitely gives you. But it definitely want to be leaned forward though. So those settings I was telling you guys about, I don't know if that has an issue with the bike cutting out, but I will say that the motor tip right now is at 91. And the controller tip is almost at 50. It's at 49. It's a pretty nice day. Like, it is not hot whatsoever. It's not 100 degrees. It's probably in the 70s or something. So I'm kind of worried when I get this bike in 100-degree weather. That's what I'm really worried about. So the temperature is going down a little bit. It's at 83 to 85 for motor temp, and controller temp is 49 still. The controller temp seems like it doesn't drop as fast as the motor temp does, but the motor temp gets way hotter than the controller does. So that's pretty much going to 100%. I haven't seen any issues. The power cut issue we could be having could be the actual motor temp when I'm on a long ride, because we did 4.7 miles. I was going back and forth, but I was also stopping and I was letting the bike sit for a little bit, compared to when I leave for work. I'm hitting four-way stops all the time and I'm just go, go, go. And we do about 6 miles from my house to my work to my house. So maybe that has something to do with why the bike is cutting in and out. I know someone mentioned that this brake lever, sometimes if this part is too tight, I'm thinking it's this is for the regen, I believe. And someone said if it's a little bit too sensitive, it will go off and it will cut your power, thinking that you're using the regen. I don't think I don't think I'm having any issues with that. It's a brand new bike and it doesn't look tight at all to me. The power cut issues are super weird. So yeah, we're at 100 and 100. I'm gonna leave it. We're gonna head back. I'm gonna keep it at 100 and we're gonna fly through this little section right here. Let's see if I can lean forward a little bit so I can kind of go. Woo! Holy shit! Oh my god, I almost ran over a lizard. Oh my god! I don't think I want to take the bike off 100. When you get used to that, oh my god. So I don't really like to pull the throttle anything under about like 15. To me, there's like no point, because it's a little sketch where the front wants to come up. But man, if you let that throttle rip under about 10 or 15 miles an hour, that thing just hold on for dear life. Oh my god, scary. So basically, that's what you can expect if you get into the Kelly controller settings and turn up those 2 settings. That's really all you can do. There are some other settings you can change. So let's say you want someone to ride your bike, but in normal mode, let's say you want the top speed to be higher, but you just want the power to be lower. You can adjust that. Or you can have, say normal mode do only 20 miles an hour, and you can have it have like 20% of power, or 40% of power. Woo! It's not as scary when you're actually rolling. It's not that bad when you're rolling. I'm gonna drive the bike just a little tiny bit with these settings. I'm gonna go around the block. This is just gonna be some extra content if you guys want to watch it. We already did the test, so. I'm pedaling because I'm on the opposite side of the road on the sidewalk, and a bunch of people from the school are looking, and I don't want them to say anything because it looks kind of weird when you have a big old helmet on your head. and you got a vest protector on. People kind of look at you like, what the heck is this guy on? They really think it's a motorcycle until they see it's electric or something. Oh my god. Even with my BAC 4000 on my Sur-Ron, just no, like, whew. Like, people probably don't even know I'm doing 50 miles, well, almost 50 miles an hour in their neighborhood. Like, you can't be pissing people off because they don't even hear you. I gotta put my feet flat against the pedals, like pointed downward, so it can give me a little bit of pushback. I can hear my brake rubbing. Woo-wee. So I'll give you an update now. If you stay to the end of this video, this motor does not get cold whatsoever. Even if you're just in a neighborhood doing a little bit of pulls here and there, this motor doesn't like to cool down. So forget what I said earlier. It does cool down, but not fast whatsoever. It's at 105. I don't know what the motor temperature max can be, but geez, it seems kind of bad. I'm gonna look up the specs and see what the max you can have for motor temp and controller temp. That seems really high to me. So maybe these settings might not be the best. But that does kind of suck though, because there's not much you can really do to the motor. You can put some Statorade fluid in it. You can drill a hole, put the fluid in, and then put heat fins on it. That is something you can do. But it just kind of sucks because that's like the main component for this bike to move. And you can put a bigger powerful battery in it with a higher amp discharge or continuous discharge, and that's just gonna add even more heat to the motor, and it's a nice day, so it's a little concerning. But I appreciate you guys watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed this one, because I really wanted to try this out. I'm probably gonna go to 60 and 60. I'm going back to something lower, and if you want to know what the stock settings are, it's 50 and 55. So this is barely over anything. I'm gonna write that before I forget. All right guys, so that's gonna be the video. Appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.